Welcome friends to TV Box Top, the channel for the best reviews in TV boxes and accessories. On today's video, I bring to you a hidden TV box that is one of the last of the great Amlogic S95X F3 models for 2021. This is the X3 Pro Amlogic S95X F3 TV box. This box was launched before the recent A95X F4 model but was overshadowed by the release of all the new X4 models. Its original name was the A95X F3A upgraded model, but it was changed to the X3 Pro. In this review, we are going to take a look at this model in detail and hope that there are still copies available for those who would like to purchase. So don't go anywhere. My full review is up next. Welcome back, and the contents of the box are the same. You have the box itself, one infrared remote control, one HDMI cable, a 5V 2A DC power adapter, and a user manual. Its design consists of a plastic housing with the A95X RGB lighting system to the top. The box also has some weight to it, which means that there is probably a good sized heatsink on the inside. To the rear of the box, you have one HDMI port, one RJ45 Ethernet LAN port, one optical audio port, one AV port with a reset button on the inside, and the DC power input. To one side, you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, and a micro SD card reader. At the front, you have an LED display, and below the box you have lots of ventilation holes. When you power on the box, you have the usual Android animation followed by the launcher. The launcher has a very simple layout with its large main shortcuts that can be changed or adjusted, and you have a custom shortcuts bar at the bottom here for adding your favorite shortcuts. It has a cleanup memory feature and a custom wallpaper app. This launcher does not have a navigation bar or status bar for easy navigating or multitasking with mouse pointers. This firmware has the following features. Firstly, it's running on Android 9 Pie operating system. It has 4K 2160p display at 60Hz. It has HDR display, Dolby Vision, HDMI CEC options. It has a root switch. It has a built-in screen rotation feature, audio output options, power key definition options, and digital surround sound audio options. The only premium features that are missing is hardware monitor, Samba server settings, and a navigation bar and status bar settings. In the apps section, these are the apps that come pre-installed. I have already installed all of the apps I need to complete my review, and first let's have a look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is Droid Logic, and the mainboard information says that it's the A95X F3, which is the same board used in the F3 model. It has 4GB of DDR3 RAM and 32GB of internal storage, from which this is the remainder after the Android installation and apps installed. The Bluetooth version I assume is 4.0 as it's not listed anywhere in the product description. Its CPU, which is the Amlogic S95X F3, is a 64-bit quad-core Cortex-A55 CPU clocked at 1.7 GHz but configured in 32-bit mode with support for only 32-bit ABIs. What all this means is that it's configured to only run 32-bit applications. Its display is powered by the Mali G31 GPU with OpenGL ES version 3.2 support, which is usually a good thing for Android gaming. Under network, it shows that it has dual band 2.4 plus 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. The operating system is Android 9 Pie, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under devices, it shows that the box does not have Vulkan support. Under temperature, it shows that the box runs between 55 and 65 degrees Celsius under normal operation, and this can rise over 70 degrees during 3D gaming. So I recommend that you use a cooling fan to protect the box from unnecessary deterioration. Under codecs, you have a long list of decoders that includes all of the decoders for the playback of 4K HDR videos and videos with digital surround sound audio formats such as Dolby and DTS audio. And that's it for its system and hardware information. Let's now take a quick look at some benchmarks. First, a look at its RAM copy speed and its internal storage read and write speeds. It has a RAM copy speed of 2864 MB per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 68 MB per second and a write speed of 67. These are the results of its Wi-Fi bands and Ethernet LAN speed tests. The results show that I achieved the maximum bandwidth of my network on both Wi-Fi bands, and the LAN port achieved 98%. This also means that the LAN port is not a gigabit LAN port. In the Antutu benchmark, it scored 70,189. It also confirms that it does not have Vulkan support. The Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark resulted in a score of 739 single-core and 2077 multi-core. And in the 3D Mark Gamers Bench GPU benchmark, it only qualified for the Ice Storm Extreme test and the Slingshot test because it does not have Vulkan support, and it resulted in a score of 5,567 in the Ice Storm Extreme test and 514 in the Slingshot test. So these are the benchmarks, and let's now see where it places on my rankings chart. So the scores are in, and the new X3 Pro is at position 49 in a reference to Antutu benchmark scores, placing it among the other X3 models clocked at 1.7 GHz. You can view this chart on my blog in full spreadsheet format where you can maximize it and compare various scores. See the link in the description below this video. Before you can use it for streaming or playing Android games, you first have to know its root access and the DRM information. Firstly, those concerned about root access would be pleased to know that it comes with a root switch, which means you can turn root access on or off as you so choose. Currently, the box is in the rooted position, which means you can install any app from the Google Play Store or via APK download without restrictions. And if you have an app that requires the box not to be rooted, you can simply turn it off. Please note, you have to restart the box for the root switch adjustment to take effect. Its DRM information shows that it has Google Widevine Level 3 with no HDCP protection. What this simply means is that you can use premium streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney+. However, you will have to sideload them as they may not be available on the Google Play Store. Also, they will be limited to basic quality resolution only. Here in my Netflix Premium 4K account, you can see from a movie description that there is no HD or HDR icon, which means that I'm limited to standard quality only. In my Prime Video account, even though it shows a 4K UHD icon, it's still restricted to standard quality. This is due to it not being fully Google certified with the required DRM protection. It comes pre-installed with the Android TV version of YouTube, but it has to be updated because it does not play in HDR quality. Using the APK Pure App Store, I updated to the latest version and it now plays in 4K quality and it triggers the HDR feature on my TV. It comes pre-installed with the official version of Miracast that mirrors your mobile devices in HD quality. Here I'm casting my Android cell phone using Miracast and it plays without issues with very little latency. For those who like to customize their launchers, you have the option to install the menu button app that is the best alternative navigation bar replacement. I have a video on how to install and set up this alternative navigation bar. See the link in the description below this video. For those interested in alternative launchers and live wallpapers, you have the option to install any alternative launcher or live wallpaper, and they will all work on this box. Here I installed the ADW Launcher 2 along with a live wallpaper, and they both work without issues. In a similar fashion to the A95X F3, the X3 Pro comes with the app that controls the RGB lights. The app allows you to adjust the style, brightness, and speed of the selected pattern. I will now play my list of 4K videos in HDR format and monitor for smooth playback and the triggering of the HDR feature on my TV.
And only a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what counts in the case of a tie on points. The mosaic of the Camp Nou and the Barcelona hymn being sung as referee Mateo Laoz prizing presence on the bench as well. Atletico playing in yellow, Barca in their traditional red and blue. Barca
All of the videos played smoothly without issues, and the HDR feature was activated on my TV during the playback. Next, here I have it connected to my 7.1 audio receiver in HDMI pass-through configuration, and I'll test for Dolby and DTS audio outputs.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around.
Executioners, judges.
Welcome to the inside of your head.
This is the left channel.
So this test reveals that the X3 Pro has Dolby Atmos, DTS-X, DTS HD Master Audio, Dolby Surround, and the THX. The only format it couldn't produce was Dolby True HD. At this point, I will connect my gamepad via Bluetooth and play some Android games to test for smooth graphics rendering, gamepad keymapping, and for temperature levels during gaming. Most of the games managed to play, but the graphic smoothness wasn't the best as I experienced some jittering during gameplay, and this was due to throttling from elevated heat levels over 75 degrees Celsius. This required a cooling fan to remedy the situation, but it didn't make much of an impact on its graphics performance. To close this review, I would like to touch on installing alternative operating systems on this box. For those interested in Linux, you can install various distros such as Armbian, Manjaro, Ubuntu, and many others. Once you install these distros, you will gain full access to the box's hardware such as 64-bit, CPU scale governor settings, and huge pages for Xmrig mining. You can run these distros from an external hard drive via USB. You can use the micro SD card slot and run it off of an SD card, or you can install it directly to eMMC internal storage, but ensure that you have the stock firmware before you do so. For those interested in CoreELEC, CoreELEC installs via SD card only, and it works using the SM1 4GB DTB device tree file. You have all features working, including Wi-Fi and Dolby True HD audio. I will list the DTB files I used for CoreELEC and Armbian in the description below. In summary, the new X3 Pro, or should I call it the A95X F3 Air, is a good TV box to purchase that has all of the features of the favorite F3 Air model. You can use it to stream movies and TV shows, you can cast content from your mobile devices, you can play Android games, and if you want developer options, you can install alternative operating systems such as Ubuntu and CoreELEC and unlock the full features of its hardware. The only concern is that it tends to get hot under intensive activities, for which I recommend you apply a cooling fan if that's your intention. In the end, it's indeed a good TV box to buy, and I recommend it if you find it available anywhere to purchase. And with that said, I have come to the end of this review. Currently, you won't find this box anywhere else to purchase other than using the link in the description. On the product page, select Buy Sample and proceed to the checkout page. Thanks for watching. Give this video the thumbs up if you enjoyed my presentation. I know there are lots of questions to some of the things you saw in this video, so be sure to ask them in the comments section below. If you are new to this channel and don't understand or feel overwhelmed at what Android boxes are all about, you can contact me directly via email where you can ask your questions privately, or feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below. More than that, if you would like to follow what I do on this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell before leaving to receive notifications via email when I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this video. Stay tuned and I'll be seeing you in the next one.